Well, we're almost wrapping up the 2025 season, huh? 24, 25. Alright, I'll just hit the guy. Dredge in the inlet. Yeah, whatever, 500-600 feet should be good. Yeah, 5, 6, I don't care. Whatever you like. Just get me in the water.
Now we got 5 bars of fuel.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, 600 feet.
Because you got to unhook all that stuff. So this video is a collection of clips from one dive, commercial lobster dive we did recently. On this boat we like to roll in without the scooters and have the buddy just throw the scooter in after we get in, and then we recover it and just kind of slowly sink down and grab the scooter. The big white tube is for lionfish. I don't think I got any on this dive. I like to clip the scooter in on my waist strap on a hook, and then I scooter down. It's about 100 feet here, and the visibility looks pretty good. The water's cool this time of year, probably around 72 degrees or something. Kind of chilly. And I scooted for a couple of minutes till I found a good spot. And this place looks pretty good. I think I saw a couple lobsters from up high, but it turned out to be a pretty good hotel. They were all over this rock. It seemed like I kind of used my air up fast on this dive, faster than normal. I hadn't been diving for about 10 or 12 days. Maybe I was out of practice, or maybe just got excited a little bit catching lobsters. On this boat I normally use an 85 cubic foot tank, not real big, so I'm a little bit short on air sometimes. But those smaller tanks fit in the tank rack better on this boat. You can see how I just try to use the lightest touch possible. And everywhere I look on this rock, there's more lobsters once you start really looking in there. The current was pretty mild this day. You could see some current, but not a lot. That one I think was too little. There's a big one. You can kind of tell they move a little slower and the water's cold. When it's real warm and it's 88 degrees or something, they are really twitchy and they'll move quick. But they're cold-blooded animals, so I think they slow down a good bit when the water's cool, and so they're a little bit more lethargic, at least initially. You still don't want to freak them out. They can swim pretty fast. Try to touch them as gentle as possible. And that one I dropped, put it in the bag. All those grunts up there with the lines on them are called cotton wicks, if anybody's curious. When there's a lot of lobsters in a hole in an area like this, you don't want to go in and scare them out a whole lot from the underneath and really disturb the whole group of them. If you do that, sometimes they'll just kind of all get scared and just abandon ship. They'll just start leaving the whole rock and walk out on the sand, and it might sound like a good idea, but if they all do it at once, they can kind of walk away from you. You might get one or two. So really, it's to your advantage to try to not disturb too many of them at any one time, and maybe my strategy was to move along and get one or two here and there, and get the ones that were easiest, and then come back. Sometimes it's better to let them, when they're a little disturbed, let them settle back into the hole, and then come back 2, 3, 4 minutes later. There was a lot of lobsters here, and some of these holes aren't so easy to get back. You get the lobsters out because they're kind of complex. Sometimes if you tickle them, they can just go further under. You can kind of see that. So you can't put the net over the antenna. You got to go past it or behind it. If you touch the antenna, they'll bolt. So you got to kind of have the antenna, go past the antenna with the net, and hook them behind the tail when you have the net. That's one situation, and when they're out on the sand walking like that with the net, is probably better than a lobster looper. Most people use a noose or a looper, and I really haven't mastered that. I've used the net. I think in some situations the net's better, in other situations it's not, but it takes a while to learn how to use either of the tools. Sometimes it's easier just to grab them. You know, you can always get bit by an eel too. The bigger ones have a deeper, make a deeper noise. It's a lower pitch. and the smaller lobsters. So that one I couldn't really tickle out. They kind of back up, and then at that point you can stick your hand in there and feel around blindly and try to grab them, and then you tend to wiggle them out. Bag's starting to get a little bit full. I have to shake them down to the bottom. I'm not sure if I should have stayed on that area and just kept working them, or look around for the easier ones like I did here, but that's what I chose to do, let them settle. So this is a pretty good dive for us. We don't normally get this many lobsters on a dive. That one has eggs, so she's immediately released, obviously. Here I kind of got stuck on that float line. The bag is heavy and it got draped over, and I got to kind of climb over the net, over the rope. I'm pretty heavy, just kind of crawling on the bottom. I dump a lot of air out of the BC when I'm lobster diving on the bottom. You don't really want to be neutral when there's a strong current or you're fighting it. It's easier to be a little heavy. There you can see I'm about 97 feet, and I've been down about 16 minutes or something, I think. Or I got 16 minutes to go. And about half a tank or so. There's another one with eggs, or maybe one already caught. It's a pain when you let them go, because they go back in the hole and then they scare the other ones that are in there, and then you risk recapturing them, wasting your time. It's not a real good solution what to do with the ones with eggs other than release them. That's another one with eggs. The season's going to close in a couple of weeks. It's closed to allow lobsters to breed, and it's closed for from April 1st basically to about August, beginning of August or so, for commercial lobster season. So at this time of the year, we start to see more with eggs. When the season opens, there's usually more than right now, actually. Another one with eggs. Another one with eggs. Those are pretty complex holes. It's hard to... They tend to want to just get in there and hide instead of come out. And you don't want to jab them real hard or injure them. So I'm down to about 1,000 pounds, about a third of a tank, and I got about 10 minutes more. I've been down about 18 minutes, and I got about 10 minutes left before I can start to go into decompression. So that means that my air is getting relatively low relative to my decompression status. So I think there was lobsters left in those holes, but I was getting a lot of eggers, and I figured there was so many around, maybe there'd be a lot more lobsters in the adjacent areas that were easy to pick up. So I kind of moved on. I probably could have got a few more out of that hole if I really got in there with my light. It turned out that hole was really where the lobsters were. There wasn't a whole lot. Could have been quite a few here. Once you leave a spot, you really can't go back ever because the current, even if it's mild, it's not really practical to go backwards, go back up current. Kind of on a one-way ticket. Sometimes it's a little hard to find a good dead spot to hook off the scooter. This one doesn't seem to want to come out. And in small holes like this, I don't always check for eels real well. I just kind of hope for the best and stick my hand in there. It's a little bit scary. sponge. Not much current today. I decided to just let the video run pretty much and show you what the dive was like. You know, we spend sometimes a lot of time, sometimes not much scootering, but there's a good bit of it. Usually it's kind of boring, and you're just kind of looking for lobsters. Sometimes they get a little beat up when you go to shake them out of there, but you can't just pull on them, they get wedged. Now I'm down about 750 pounds, and I still got about 6 minutes of no decompression time. I have an extra backup pony bottle I use to make sure I don't run out of air, so I'm not too worried about my air, but it's starting to get pretty close to the end of the dive. Sometimes in that situation where you still have time under decompression on your computer, but you run a little bit long air, you try to really conserve your air and breathe slower, slow as you can, kind of adds to your stress. Going into the current a little bit, so when across the current, riding the scooter sideways is a little bit stressful. I try not to do too much activity, especially when you're getting low. So we still got about 6 minutes. Down about 500 now. You gotta start checking the air a little more frequently when you get low. Maybe one more lobster flag. We have to get out of there. I don't really know any of these spots well enough to know where I'm going. I'm just kind of moving along and looking wherever it looks like a good spot. So I'm kind of meandering in and out, going with the current. I don't really have any set pattern. I guess if you're really good, you know the reef real well, and you have a little path that you typically take, but plus there's a lot of random lobsters to be walk around and move to different locations, so. So I took my eye off the ball. I don't know where he went. He's probably in here somewhere. He's probably in these holes. But it's amazing how they can kind of disappear. And I'm down around 400. And only have about 3 minutes left, so it's about time to get out of there, I think. Sometimes I scooter up a little bit, but this time I just put some air in my vest and try to start the ascent. So I've got about 250 now, and just try to come up slow. So I've been down about 27 minutes. I guess I was on the bottom the whole time. Was a little bit higher. Normally we're looking for lobsters and you're scootering up high and then you drop down. So your average depth's a little less sometimes. So now I just kind of stare at my computer and try to come up real slow and not breathe too much, just relax as much as I can. I don't really swim up. I normally just let my BC pull me up and stay a little bit buoyant. I kind of left this in case people were curious what it looks like coming up. As you can see, those numbers in the middle screen are going up. That's my no decompression limit. So as the depth becomes shallower, I could conceivably stay there longer if I had the air supply. So I'm at 55 feet, and now I can stay there if I can go deeper for 42 minutes. It's important I stay calm and keep moving slowly, or I would have to rely on my pony bottle. And I typically, when I get above 50 feet, I go pretty slow. I try to really go slow between 50 and 40 and give myself some time for the bubbles to kind of dissipate out of my blood, I guess. And then once I get up to 40, I continue probably a little slower than the computer says. And I skipped some of that. I did my 3-minute safety stop and everything. And pretty much out of air. And the boat's a good bit away.
Yeah! Yeah!
I decided to speed it up a little bit. Can you tell me how far I am from the number?
116.
Thank you. Yeah. I was busy. I found one spot where they all were, pretty much, and then I only found a couple in a couple other spots.
Where's this line going, bud?
Just taking around the other engine. Just take it around the engine and I'll let it go and you'll be good.
Let go.
You don't need to pull it in, I don't think. As soon as I get up, I think you should go forward. No?
What are you talking about? What?
I said,
As soon as you get up, I should go where?
yeah, just go forward, south.